Google Maps uses a graphical icon called a marker to visually indicate a particular location. In the web-based version of Google Maps, if you type in a landmark name and then select it from a list that might appear, you'll relocate the map position, and you'll also instantly place a marker. In this example, I've typed in Statue of Liberty, and that took me to the Statue of Liberty National Monument, and I got a marker. And if I move the cursor over the marker, I get something called an info window. The structure and content of the info window is up to the developer, and I'll show you first how to place a marker on a map in a particular location in an Android app. I'm working in a version of my project called Add Markers. And I'll start by running the app in its current state. With this version of the app, if I type in a value of New York and touch search, I'm taken to that location, but I don't have a way of placing a marker in that location. So I'll go back to my code. I'll go to my structure window and find the geolocate method. Then I'll place the cursor here after I've called goToLocation. By the time I get to this bit of code, I already know the latitude and longitude of the location the user searched for. I'll place a marker at this location. I'll start by creating an instance of the class MarkerOptions. It's a member of the package com.google.android.gms.maps.model. I'll name it Options, and I'll create it with a no-arguments constructor. Now, that's not the end of the statement. I can immediately start calling methods of the object, and this is similar to a builder design pattern. Each method call will modify something about the MarkerOptions object, but also return a reference to it so I can call another method. So I'll call a method named Title, and I'll pass in my locality string. That's the name of the location. Then I'll call a method named Position. That's looking for a lat-long object. So I'll create the object with new and then the constructor method, and I'll pass in my latitude and my longitude. So now I have the object that represents the marker, and I'm ready to place it on the map, and for that I'll call the map object, mmap, and call its addMarker method. And I'll pass in the options object. And that's all I need to do. I'll run the app with these code changes. Once again, I'll type in New York, and this time, when I search, I'll go to the location and I'll drop a marker. And watch what happens when I touch the marker on the screen. I get a default info window showing the locality. Now, I'll go back to my search, and this time I'll type in the name of a famous landmark, the Statue of Liberty. And I'm taken once again directly to the location, and a marker is added to the map. But now look what happens when I touch the marker. I once again see New York. The default locality won't always be as fine-tuned as you might want it to be. And if I zoom out a bit, I'll see that my original marker is still there on the map, and I can touch either one, and I'll still see New York in the info window. So that's the first step of using markers, creating a marker options object, giving it its values, and then adding it to the map. There's a lot more that you can do with markers, though, including customizing their appearance and behavior, and I'll show you some of those tasks in the following videos.